I just don't get what is it with these dating shows wanting to know so much information about these people's sex lives. As a viewer, I'm not even concerned with when was the last time they had sex. I'm not concerned with what their favorite position is. I could care less if they never have sex on the show, if they choose to consummate their marriage or not. That is between them and their spouse. I just think it's so invasive asking it on TV. Everybody's uncomfortable when they do it, and Married at First Sight is not the first one to do it. A lot of them do it, and I just really wish these production companies and these producers would stray away such behavior. And I do feel like, considering the lawsuit that LIB is going through right now, that it will change a little bit of that culture. But like, prompting people about their sex life is just, especially when it's like not even, it didn't make sense where it was placed in the episode in the first place. So it's just like, I could have went my whole life not knowing certain people had an orgy. Like, I could have watched and enjoyed the whole season not knowing that such and such likes to do doggy style. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's like, we're here for love. Why do we care? Do they think the viewers care? Do y'all as viewers care if they see that? I don't know. I guess I would much rather watch it through and through, and then we get a glimpse of them in the shower together. I mean, it's much exciting that way, but am I seeking it? Do I have to have it? Will I feel like I was shorted my $25 on Amazon Prime for the season if I don't see it? No. Married at First Sight season 17. It takes place in Denver, Colorado. The weddings were allegedly back in January of 2023. Can I just take a moment though? I really want to take a moment to say how beautiful Denver, Colorado is. Like, literally the shots in between like cast footage was just beautiful. They look like stock photos or like the setting of a Hallmark Christmas movie. So we're beginning to get to know the hopefuls, okay? And they let us know, listen, 1,000 people applied to be on the show, and they're doing this, like, all these squares with the audition videos, and I'm like, where the colors? I've seen about 3 black people, and that was it. So I was like, hold on, let me see how many black people was there, because the way they've been doing us on these dating shows lately, side-eye, I have to make sure, okay? So I went on to the U.S. Bureau Census website to see, and apparently it's like 700,000 people in Denver, Colorado, but only like 9% is black. So they did not underrepresent our Colorado cousins. It's just not a lot of us there, okay? It's about 60,000 scattered across the city, and only 3-4 signed up for the show. I don't know what happened the 4 seasons that I sat out of watching this franchise, but did it seem like they were like over explaining the process as they were going on? I mean, I appreciated the insight, but like, I genuinely was concerned, like, did I miss something? And if I did, please feel free to let me know in the comments, because I really want to know why they're so open about everything right now, okay? I will say though, like, in the past, they have had issues with this formula that they were using. And it was like, oh, opposites attract, or yeah, we're gonna get an introvert with an extrovert, and then the balance will make for a perfect marriage. And let me see something, the where I left off, people wasn't staying married, okay? So maybe that's why, but again, I can't be certain. If something happened, let me know in the comments. Thank you. The applicants are, really selling themselves. Like, they are giving their beauty pageant answers. They are showing a full representative, and everything they saying sound good. But we know, based on the history of this show and most dating shows, that we gonna see, we gonna find out, okay? We know that there's more layers here, okay? But anyway, while they were all talking, I was like, wow, everybody seems educated. A lot of high earners in this group, ain't nobody homeless. Ain't nobody unemployed. Y'all got us one time, I remember. And so I'm like, okay, cool, Denver. Like, for real, I really need to book a trip there. I mean, everybody was good looking, educated. They was making good money down there. You know, I would like, if they were fit and athletic, I would like to see what is hitting on, you know. I know it's only 9% black folk there, but I'm open to seeing what else, you know. We'll see. Unpopular opinion. I don't think the show needs a sex therapist. I like Dr. Pia. I think she's beautiful. She's very energetic and she brings youthfulness to the group of experts. But my concern is, considering the lawsuit against LIB, that we're going to see a shift in dating shows and how they address sex on their show. I don't want to see her become a scapegoat for something in the future. Why am I saying that? Well, 8 minutes into the special and she's already hounding the applicants about sex. I mean, she's asking what is their favorite position, what was the last time they had group sex. And for me as a viewer, it made me uneasy seeing them uncomfortable. And I really feel like they need to read the room on this one. Someone even went as far as to say, like, you know, her grandmother is watching the show. So, like, why are these production companies so set on adding these type of segments into the show when it's clear that the applicants are not shy, they're just uncomfortable? And I really don't like that for Dr. Pia. I know that being a sex therapist is her job, but I just feel like, considering that these are marrying strangers, they don't need the prompting or encouragement from a sex therapist for their relationship. What they need is time. And they need us to not pry into it and force them to talk about it on camera. Now, considering the fact that it was already 8 minutes into the show and Dr. Pia was already hounding the applicants about the sex, I can only imagine what the rest of the season is going to look like, and that is very concerning for me. I'm hoping that they read the room during that interviewing process and they would back off a little bit and let these couples let sex happen organically within their marriages. So the couples that they chose was Cameron and Claire, Brennan and Emily, Orion and Lauren, Austin and Becca, and Michael and an unnamed woman. So Cameron is a 32-year-old bike shop owner. He is from New Zealand, so he has a bit of an accent. He is very outdoorsy and adventurous, and he really enjoys mountain bike riding. And that's pretty much it we really learned about this man, y'all. He is very forgettable. I hate to say that, but it's true. And when the experts were going on to speak about why they were choosing him for the show, even they ran out of things to say and started, from what I can tell, making up stuff. They're saying he's intense, and I'm just like, where? And they even said he was goofy. And I'm like, where? Like, what are y'all talking about? Where is this person? Literally, the only interesting thing about him was how he met the family friends, because all of his actual family is still in New Zealand. And so he like, you know, I met them at my mother's roommate's neighbor's dinner party. And I was like, oh, that's like literally the most interesting thing about you, okay? So when Cameron is telling them that he's been chosen for the show and that he's going to be getting married in 2 weeks, we do get to learn a little bit about his personality, which was falling flat prior to that, okay? And so they were like, well, he's impatient. They said he picky. And I'm like, picky? So that's why he is alone in the world? Because he only mentioned like one thing, that he wanted the girl to be slim and active. Other than that, I didn't hear him tell them too much of anything else. So Cameron is going to be marrying Claire, and Claire is a 27-year-old therapist. I like Claire. She's very even-tempered and mature. You can tell that her emotional intelligence is like top tier. She's a quadruplet, and she's very family-oriented. I like her. When she tells her family that she is getting married, they're very supportive. So that's Claire. So the next couple is Orion and Lauren. Orion is a 26-year-old electrician. He is American Indian, so he's Apache and Navajo. He said he grew up on a Navajo reservation, and he is very proud of his culture and his heritage, and he is looking forward to being able to share that with whomever his spouse is. So I love that for him. He's very peaceful and patient. He gives me really great leadership qualities. And he is the one who actually had a date with a man. He said at the end of the date, the man kissed him. He didn't like it, and he has been for women ever since. So he's sure he wants to marry a woman. Okay. He told his family that he's going to be getting married in 2 weeks, and they were very supportive. So Orion will be marrying Lauren. Okay. Lauren is a 31-year-old black woman. Okay. And she's a federal budget officer. Okay. I was like, oh my girl. I even went on Indeed to look up the job and see how much it paid in Denver, Colorado. And it was like 108 a year, like something like that. And I was like, okay, baller. Yes, Lauren with the coin. I loved when the black girls be out here doing the things, honey. So yeah, so yes, Lauren got the coin. Good job. I ain't never heard no federal budget officer. Yes, and I ain't never seen a black one, but okay. So she is just good vibes. She's well spoken. She's educated. She's got the bag. She got a lot of layers to her too. Like she's real sassy, but then she's also very classy and smart, and you know she's very well spoken. She knows who she is. She knows what she wants in life. You know. And one of those wants being that she wants somebody who she can share her culture with as well. And she's also eager to learn about another culture. I mean, we knew based off the editing, based off the questions, we knew that he was trying to cross his T's and dot his I's. He didn't want to hear us talking crap about them in these YouTube streets and on Twitter because you know, not telling her that he experimented with it. Because some women don't play about stuff like that, you know. But he didn't do it sexually. He just went on a date. Like I said, he got kissed. He didn't like it. Whereas Lauren has been with women and men. So both of them experiment. And when he asked her, like, well, no, she volunteered that information, by the way, too. And she's even self-proclaimed queer and floater. So excuse my ignorance on the topic. That's why I'm not going to talk about it too much, because in this particular conversation I really don't have the range when it comes to talking about like LGBTQIA plus and things like that. But she said she was queer. From what I have understood, I thought queer was, depending on the person and how they identify, that being queer is the same as being lesbian or being gay. So which is not the most important part that I'm confused. I'm just kind of confused because when I looked up queer, it said like non-heterosexual. So I was like, but she's marrying a man. So that's why I got confused at with the language of it all. Help me understand. If you know how to explain her saying she's queer and a floater but marrying a man, like how that go, I would really like genuinely want to understand it. You can let me know in the comments. You can let me know in the message. My Instagram was at the beginning of the video. You can even DM me. I'm genuinely curious, and I did Google it. I really did try to do the research, and trying to do the research to understand it made me more confused. Scout Tanner, I was trying. So yes, put me on game, please. She's still the girl though. But anyway, so we go to when Lauren has to tell her brother and her sister-in-law and then like her friends or whatever. I love her support system. Listen, Lauren, you are so blessed because they are 10 toes down gang. Like she was asking like, what would y'all think? And they're like, girl, this is your life. You know, like we just here for you. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. You know, and I just thought that was so cool. You know, they just chilling. They having a charcuterie board. They having some drinks, and you know they playing spades. And it's like, that's nice little kickback. Like, invite me next time, Lauren. Okay. So moving on, the next couple is Austin and Becca. Both are 31. Austin is a business development representative for a tech company. He is a man of few words, but he also claims to be the, oh wait, that's the problem. See, okay, I'm gonna keep this edit in there because for the first episode, I kept mixing up Brennan and Austin because they was saying a lot of the same stuff. It wasn't until they assigned them a woman I was now able to differentiate the two based off who their wife is gonna be. So forgive me for that part. I'm gonna keep it in too, okay? Austin's a 31-year-old business development representative for a tech company. He's a very chill, laid-back guy, but they do say when he is pissed or passionate that his New Yorker side comes out. So I'm interested to see what that's gonna look like in the season. He came out with that ugly blazer on, y'all. He was so proud of that blazer too. I was like, that blazer is ugly. You could have kept that in the closet, y'all. So he tells his parents and his female roommate about him getting married. So he tells the female roommate about it, and I'm just like, oh, I wonder if that's why he don't do one night stands. Messy. It was something about it that I don't like. Why do you have a female roommate? And she was trying to be fake supportive like before the family got here, but then when they got there, if you notice, she was like subtly like agreeing with the parents. Then when they sat down and he finally told them he's getting married, obviously mama was like, didn't like it. His dad knew that his mama was mad enough for the both of them, so he didn't say as much. But let me tell you, his mama was very vocal and disapproving, like thinking it's like not a good idea, and and then it was just odd to me. I felt like the cameraman was thinking what we all was thinking, and so he places the camera behind the female roommate to get the mother's expressions. And I don't know if y'all caught it, but it was like 2 or 3 times. Now, it could have been edited this way where they took off the sound or she was talking, we didn't see her lips moving. But based off the way it was edited, it will be what the hell is his man's name? It would be Austin talking about something, and then the mother will be looking at the female roommate. And it was just something about it. As a woman, you just kind of know. I'm hoping if it was something, it was very brief, and I just don't want to see it on the show. I really don't, because his spouse do not deserve that. Even though it happened well before her, I don't want this to be a messy season. Like, I can still watch this show if it's not messy. I promise you I can. So I'm hoping that what I think it is ain't what's going on. But Becca, girl, you might be in danger, girl. Be careful. All right, so Becca is the wedding photographer. She's 31. She's the young lady with the pink hair, fun personality, life of the party, just real energetic. I wrote notes that she was energetic from what I could see, and she loved her some podcasts and some Nintendo 64. Okay, so I like her. I'm gonna tell you why I like her. I like Becca. She's up there with Lauren for me because I could tell she meant everything she was saying. I know you like, how, Erica, you said all of them was using word salad, but she just was taking a lot of accountability, and she knew what she wanted, and she also knew why she didn't have it yet. And I just love that type of maturity. You can definitely tell she's been through some things, but you can also tell that Becca has done the work. Like, she has done the shadow work to be a better person, and I do believe that what I'm seeing is who she is, and I really love that for her, and I'm hoping her and Austin do really well together. So okay? Becca tells her friends at a pizza shop that she's getting married, and they all seem really supportive. It was at this point that we find out that Becca has 2 chronic diseases. One of them is an autoimmune disease. She didn't tell us the name of it. The nurse in me would have loved to figure it out, but she really just didn't give us enough information other than the fact that it's a autoimmune disease, which are usually chronic. And then she goes on to say that she also has endometriosis, which is also chronic and painful. And on top of that, she says she has chronic back pain. And so I'm like, how is she this energetic? Like, she just had all this energy and was so light. You would have never known that she was, suffering like that. I am interested to know how she is managing all this pain. Like, how are you getting by? How are your spirits so lifted all the time? And so yeah, I'm just really interested in finding out what's that about. She also said she didn't want to be a burden to her spouse because she has these chronic illnesses, and I'm just like, girl, I don't know. That's a lot to do. Endometriosis is very painful when you're menstruating, and then not knowing what the autoimmune disease is. Not saying that I need to know because that's her business, but yeah, that could be a lot. So I'm hoping that this couple will be able to stick it out, and hopefully he'll get the answers that we didn't get. I'm hoping that's what happens for them. So the next couple is Brennan and Emily. Brennan is a 28-year-old software engineer for a tech company. Brennan fine. Brennan is very fine, okay? He's handsome, he's a leader, he says he's the life of the party, and he has made it very clear that he only wants to get married once. And not only did he make it clear, but the family reminded us too. They're like, nobody in this family has ever been married more than once. So you sticking it out no matter what. And he's made it very clear divorce is just not an option for him. Okay. And so Brennan is marrying Emily. She's a 20-year-old account executive for a tech company. She's very beautiful. She's very fun. She says she's the life of the party. She's also very independent. She has never been in a relationship, like, ever. She's never had a boyfriend at all. She says she always gets ghosted after the third date, and she doesn't know why. So she goes to tell her friends about her being married in 2 weeks, and these girls is nice nasty, okay? Emily, you in danger, girl. Be careful with these women. I know y'all probably been friends for a long time, but everything they were saying was just very distasteful. You could tell that they were fake supporting her. And like the way they was wording things, it'll be like, oh, that's great, but you've never been in a relationship, as if she didn't tell us that already. Like, it just gave hater to me. And I hope Emily catch on and, just watch them. I'm going to be watching them because I didn't understand how they could be so nasty. And it was nasty because it was clear they wasn't in support, but they were like throwing shade at the same time. So yeah, not the type of friends that I would have around Emily. So just keep an eye on them. Okay, girl? So the next couple is Michael and an unknown woman. Michael is a 38-year-old senior project manager. He is very handsome. He's very fun. His style, he's very stylish and swaggy. He has the cool hair going on to the side. He has endless hobbies, okay? The man loves to travel. He loves to like box and just stay fit. He has a lot of self-awareness. He knows exactly what he wants. He knows how to ask for it. And I'm really excited to see him on the show. He actually told his friends that he's going to be getting married, and everyone was pretty supportive of him. So I'm interested to see how he's going to do on the show, especially since we now know that he wound up not getting married initially because the woman that they chose for him just could not go through with it. So later in the season, I guess we're going to see that he had a replacement. I also noticed that when they asked him like what he was looking for, he's like, darker hair, darker eyes, nice complexion. And I was like, do Michael want a black girl or not? Because, I mean, it sounded like it to me. Am I tripping? It sounded like he wanted a black girl. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm really excited to see him on the show. So those are our couples. Next, we see Lauren and Emily dress shopping with their families and friends. Emily was having a hard time finding a dress, mainly because her shady ass friends were just doing too much. They were saying to me, like, if you my friend, you wouldn't be talking so much crap about me on camera. They knew the cameras were there while she was looking for dresses. They're rushing her out to see every dress. She's not feeling comfortable enough to go out in it. And they just were killing the vibes, and you could tell it was starting to get to Emily, and I ain't like that. And then next we had Lauren. She was dress shopping with her family and her friends, and then they eventually FaceTime an aunt. I really liked the first dress. The second dress was not it for me. She did end up picking the first dress before she had a breakdown. And I was really empathetic for Lauren because her mother had recently passed away. And that is definitely, you know, a moment that you will want your mother to be there when you're picking your wedding dress. So I understand why it was hard for her to get through the appointment initially. And let me tell you something, them friends and that sister-in-law, they were on it. As soon as they heard the uncertainty in her voice and the crack, they were there. Okay. And they had her back, and they helped her get back to herself. And she got past the moment, and she was able to pick a wedding dress that she liked. So I love that for Lauren. It's really good to have a solid group of friends like the one that Lauren have. Hopefully Emily friends will get it together. But we'll see. So the first wedding that we see at the end of the this episode, we get to see Brennan and Emily get married first. This couple is so good looking, like, oh my goodness. It's just not fair how good looking they are. Okay, so once again, Emily's friends are at it. I mean, the girl is confident. She's like not nervous, and they are just asking her questions that to me was trying to create some type of self-doubt. I mean, are y'all intentionally trying to make this girl anxious and give her cold feet? And it eventually worked towards the end, right before it was time for her to go out, because she's like, you know, y'all wanted the nerves. Well, here they are. They're here now. And when she finally got the nerves, they're saying, oh, everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna do good. And it's like, y'all created this mess. Emily, you're gonna need some new friends when it's all said and done. I really feel like, you know, you will. These ones can't be trusted. And the one who had the most stuff to say was the maid of honor, which was shocking to me, because I'm like, ain't no way I'm gonna have a jerk of a maid of honor, okay? But anyway, Emily is able to make it down the aisle. And so Brennan is talking to his friends, and everything is going pretty well. He's, you know, excited to get married. And then he goes to meet with his parents. We know it was orchestrated by production. And let me tell you something. He was like, oh, they Russians. So I was expecting like an accent, because the accent with anger on the Russian, I ain't really trying to see it. But you know, you could tell the parents were displeased, but they were not trying to ruin his day. Mom was like, you know, but we're gonna get through it, you know. She was saying little encouraging / shady comments. She was really doing her best, as you could tell. And I could understand his parents though, because when you have a family that no one's ever divorced, everyone's only had one wedding, and then your very handsome son does something like this, it could be concerning. But that concern, from what I saw, left very quickly once they seen how beautiful Emily was. And she really was a beautiful bride. When she came down that aisle, his parents smiled, and the mom grabbed her husband's hand. And based off body language and facial expression, I felt like they were pleased with what they saw. And Brennan was also pleased with what he saw, and I could tell that Emily felt the same way about Brennan. So these two tie the knot, and they are Mr. and Mrs. Brennan, okay? And that was pretty much the end of episode 1.